Nigeria is a country with great potentials. Let us harness these potentials for the benefit of all by joining hands with the EFCC to eradicate economic crimes and corruption from our society. Hello and welcome to the program, The Eagle. My name is Aisha Muhammad.
EFCC will get you anywhere, anytime.
On the program today, alleged serial fraudster Fred Ajudua, who is being prosecuted by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission over allegations of defrauding of former Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Ishaya Bameyi, loses his bid to stop his trial. Also today, Executive Chairman of the EFCC, Ibrahim Lamurde, says delay in the determination of cases in court has been the greatest challenge in protecting the nation's sea-based economic assets and enforcing maritime security in Nigeria. We will also bring to you report on the prosecution of 3 ex-bankers before an Osun State High Court over allegations bordering on failure to exercise due diligence, forgery and conspiracy to commit fraud. This and other reports will come your way after this time out. Please stay tuned.
Cheers! What is it?
Please, keep to yourself. Chief Urabo, I got a telephone call.
Anytime I close my eyes,
yes,
I see dead people chasing me in my sleep.
My Jova Magadam.
Chief, is it possible for someone to become restless just because of his past?
Nevertheless, unless you kill somebody dead, then the spirit will be haunted you. Hey! Was you all contractors?
I embezzled all the money for the roads that are now death traps, killing people every day. I approved the supplies of fake drugs on pipe and water. I embezzled the money. I dey fear, Chief.
You are supposed to fly a special land that the people of EFCC and chase people who are doing to support other people money. EFCC, as soon as they capture them, straight to prison.
Chief,
jail. How you are? Life are not just about acquire wealth, making money. When other people are didn't die of hunger and neglect. Be careful. EFCC, I watch.
EFCC will get you anywhere, anytime.
Executive Chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Ibrahim Lamurde, has identified delay in the determination of cases in court as the greatest challenge in protecting the nation's sea-based economic assets and enforcing maritime security in the country. Lamurde stated this when he hosted a 5-man team from the United States Africa Command, AFRICOM, who were in the commission to discuss issues of operational enforcement of existing maritime laws in Nigeria as part of the country's entry into the African Maritime Law Enforcement Partnership, AMLEP. He said the importance of securing the Nigerian waterways could not be overemphasized, as most of the illegal oil bunkering in Nigeria happens in the nation's territorial waters.
We think anything that we do in partnership with the African Maritime Law Enforcement Partnership Initiative is good for the country in the sense that it will secure the territorial waters of Nigeria more. I mean, these days we are also worried about issues like you have mentioned of smuggling of narcotics, which some of these criminals use the waterways to move into the country or move out of the country.
Commander Michel Baz of AFRICOM's Legal Engagement Division, who led the delegation, said they were in the EFCC to understand the Commission's role in the operational chain, adding that their interest with the EFCC is to understand what happens after the operational forces apprehend suspects of maritime crimes and how the criminal justice system operates.
We'd like to understand better the framework that Nigeria currently has for all of their maritime policing activities, whether it's on the high seas in your EEZ or closer in your territorial seas. And the reason for this is, it may just seem strange that why we need to know, we'll do it as we go, because it's very important that the boarding teams know which laws to invoke, whether that's international laws or domestic provisions, what are the elements of the crime, what evidence do they need to collect, how will they keep the evidence safe and secure, and where to proceed from there. So with this effort, because we would also hope and wish for Nigeria's sake as well as the security of the region, that this could lead to additional partnerships, additional bilateral agreements with your neighbors for the maritime arena, to ensure that there is a security and safety net that's regional and not just for Nigeria, since this is clearly a regional problem and a world problem.
Hyacinth Dozier, who is head of EFCC operations in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, made a presentation on the activities of the Commission in maritime sphere, covering all the littoral states in Nigeria. He highlighted the relationships that exist between the Commission and other law enforcement organizations, especially the Nigerian Navy, in enforcing maritime security. He disclosed that the Commission enjoys cooperation from Nigerian Navy, the Joint Task Force, the Nigeria Army, the Department of State Service, and the Nigeria Maritime Administration and Safety Agency. He, however, lamented that part of the challenges the Commission face in dealing with major illegal oil bunkering include logistics, preservation of exhibits, difficulty in evacuation of products, difficulty in the analysis of samples to fast-track prosecution, and the delay in transferring suspects from sister agencies. The AMLEP program enables African partners to work directly with U.S. naval forces in an operational environment in the partners' home waters. Still on reports, a former executive director of Lone Star Drilling Nigeria Limited, John Adet Esiebuya, has been dragged by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, before Justice Lambo Akambi of the Federal High Court in Port Harcourt for allegedly stealing the sum of 48 million naira belonging to the company. Esiebuya, along with two others who are now at large, was arraigned on an 8-count charge of forgery, altering of official documents, stealing, money laundering, and conspiracy. The accused person pleaded not guilty to the charges and was admitted to bail in the sum of 2 million naira and 2 sureties. One of the sureties, the court ruled, should be a civil servant on grade level 14, while the second should be a lawyer. The case was adjourned to August 8.
Alleged serial fraudster Fred Ajudua arraigned by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission over allegations of defrauding a former Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Ishaya Bameyi, of about $8.39 million has lost his bid to stop his trial. Thelma Eke is our guide on this report.
Alleged serial fraudster Fred Ajudua has lost his bid to stop his trial by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission over allegations of defrauding a former Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Ishaya Bameyi, of about $8.39 million between November 2004 and June 2005. The Lagos Division of the Court of Appeal dismissed Ajudua's application, in which he had challenged the competence of the charge and the jurisdiction of the Lagos State High Court. Ajudua who was arraigned before Justice Atinuke Ikpaye of the Lagos High Court on a 14-count charge that borders on obtaining by false pretense, had filed notice of preliminary objection in which he stated that the proof of evidence did not disclose any case against him. Justice Ikpaye, however, dismissed the objection. Dissatisfied, Ajudua filed an appeal against the ruling. At the hearing of the appeal, Ajudua contended that the lower court erred in the law when it held that he could be tried under the repealed Advance Fee Fraud and Other Related Offences Act 1995. Ajudua's counsel, Olalekan Ojo, submitted in the appellant's brief of argument and appellant's reply brief of argument dated May 13th and June 11, 2014 respectively, that at the time Bamayi petitioned the EFCC over the alleged offence in 2006, the law upon which the 14-count charge was framed was no longer in existence. Maintaining that the proof of evidence did not support the charge, Ojo said the information as constituted at the lower court is procedurally and substantively incompetent. But in a unanimous ruling, the Court of Appeal affirmed the decision of the trial court that the charge is competent. Ajudua is alleged to have fraudulently collected a total sum of $8,390,000 United States dollars from General Bamayi retired in installments by falsely claiming that the payments represented the professional fees charged by Chief Afe Babalola San to handle Bamayi's case in court and to facilitate his release from prison. The accused is also standing trial alongside Charles Ovie before Justice Kudirat Jose of the Lagos High Court, Ikeja, for allegedly defrauding two Dutch businessmen of $1.69 million. Further hearing in this case is slated for September 24, 2014. Still on court matters, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, is prosecuting 6 suspected oil thieves: Adelaja David, Adedara Temitokpe, Bayo Edema, Alowa Kenu Matthew, Olga Agedo, Dauda Usman, alongside their vessel MT Sajin D, before Justice Iyang E. Ekwo of the Federal High Court, Yenagua Bayelsa State, on a 2-count charge bordering on illegal dealing in petroleum product. They pleaded not guilty to the charges. The accused were arrested sometime in March 2014 by men of the Central Naval Command Nigerian Navy, Yenagua, alongside their vessel, loaded with 2,356,000 liters of suspected crude oil, and handed over to the EFCC for further investigation and prosecution. Justice Ekwo, however, granted the accused persons bail in the sum of 1 million naira and 1 shati each in like sum. The sureties must be residents of Yanagwa and own landed property within the jurisdiction of the court. The accused persons are not to leave the jurisdiction without the permission of the court. The matter was adjourned to October 8, 9th and 10th, 2014 for commencement of trial. I am Thelma Eke, reporting.
Nigeria is the 6th largest producer of oil in the world. In over 50 years of oil exploration, the country has earned well over $600 billion as oil revenue. If properly managed, it should provide us with a health system that will save lives and not a decaying health system. A society where energy goes round for meaningful development and not an epileptic power supply system. A productive educational system and not a decaying educational system. A society where jobs are created for self-sustainability and not a society where our youth roam the streets unemployed. A highway of safety and security and not roads that lead us to early graves. We should have credible leaders who deliver dividends of democracy to the people and not corrupt leaders who divert our collective revenue for private use. Say no to corrupt leaders. This message is from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC.
Welcome back. 3 former bankers with a new generation bank are currently being prosecuted by the Commission on separate charges, all bordering on failure to exercise due diligence, forgery and conspiracy to commit fraud involving a sum of 16,891,100 naira. Zainab Sana Ahmed completes the story.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has dragged 3 former bankers with a new generation bank before Justice Akindavid Oladimeji of the Osun State High Court Ile-Ife on separate charges, all bordering on failure to exercise due diligence, forgery and conspiracy to commit fraud involving a sum of 16,891,100 naira. The accused persons, Folusho Okpayinka, Ebenezer Adeyemi and Esa Okunola, were former employees of Sky Bank, Ila Oragun branch, Osun State. While Okpayinka was arraigned on 3-count charges, Ebenezer Adeyemi and Esa Okunola were docked on 1-count charge. They all pleaded not guilty to the charges. In view of their plea, prosecuting counsel Zainab Etu informed the court that she was ready for trial and sued for the remand of the accused persons in prison custody. However, counsel to the accused persons Abiodun Olaide, Dotun Olaniyan, and Debola Adeyemi prayed the court to admit their clients to bail. Justice Oladimeji, after listening to their submissions, adjourned for ruling on bail applications and ordered that the accused persons be remanded in Ile-Ife prison. The accused persons got into trouble when they fraudulently transferred money to the tune of 16,891,100 naira from the account of a customer, Global Link Consolidated Services Limited, into 20 different accounts without the authority and consent of the account holder. Investigations showed that Okpayinka, a marketing support staff in the bank, initiated the scam. He was aided by Adeyemi, a customer care officer, and Okunola, the manager of the branch where the transactions took place. In another development, Executive Chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Mr. Ibrahim Lamurde, has said that cybersecurity is crucial to the quest for growth and development of the economy. Lamurde, who was represented by Head of Operations, Lagos Zonal Office of the EFCC, Mr. Ilyas Okwarbai, stated this in a keynote address at the National Cybersecurity Forum held in Lagos recently. According to him, the increasing usage of internet by Nigerians is strengthening the online economy and improving other indices of development across the country. The security of the cyberspace, he says, becomes imperative not only to ensure the growth of the economy, but also to safeguard it against local and international threats that may be posed to it by cyber criminals. He suggested the establishment of a functional network of computer emergency response teams at the national level and covering all states of the Federation as part of measures to improve cybersecurity and response mechanism. He also called for a well-defined policy on critical information infrastructure protection with the aim of strengthening the security and resilience of vital ICT infrastructure. Mohammed Sambo Dasuki, the National Security Advisor represented at the forum by Alhaji Ibrahim Masil, said that owing to its sensitive nature, the federal government has identified cybersecurity as a national security priority. The National Cybersecurity Forum, which is the first of its kind, was convened by the Office of the National Security Advisor as a stakeholders talk shop aimed at evolving impregnable national security framework, effective enough for the continued functioning of all entities in the national space.
EFCC will get you anywhere, anytime.
Next is the feedback segment with Chidima Amanambo.
Sunday Olasumbo wrote via our Facebook page. He asks, please, what is the procedure for writing petition against an individual and a public servant? Thanks, Olasumbo, for your message. The procedure is simple. Direct a petition with supporting documents to the Executive Chairman, EFCC, number 5 Formella Street, off Adetokunbo Ademola Crescent, Wuse 2, Abuja. You can also drop the petition at any of our zonal offices or send it via any of our social media platforms, which will be announced as we round off this program. Simon Iho also called through our hotline, saying, EFCC, kindly investigate the illegal deductions without subscription made by Airtel Limited from customers.
Thanks, Iho. Kindly channel your complaints to the Consumer Protection Council, which is the body statutorily charged with the responsibility to handle such matters. While we thank Nigerians for the confidence that they repose in the Commission, it is not every matter that the EFCC can handle. We would like to use this opportunity to plead with members of the public to be sure that their complaints fall within the purview of the EFCC before reporting to the Commission. That's all for this week on the feedback segment. Thanks for your contributions. To be part of this segment, please visit us on facebook.com/official EFCC or follow us on Twitter at official EFCC. You can also watch our programs and other activities on youtube.com/official EFCC or send a text to the following numbers: 0809 EFCC NIG and 0818 EFCC NIG. You can also report any misconduct by staff of the Commission via dia@efccnigeria.org or call this number 09-904-4758 between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. weekdays only.
Cheers! Cheers! What is it?
Please, keep to yourself.
Chief Rabo, I got a telephone call.
Anytime I close my eyes,
yes,
I see dead people chasing me in my sleep.
My Jehovah Magadam.
Chief, is it possible for someone to become restless just because of his past deeds?
Nevertheless, unless you kill somebody dead, then the spirit will be haunted you. Was you all contractors?
I embezzled all the money for the roads that are now death traps, killing people every day. I approved the supplies of fake drugs on pipe-on water. I embezzled the money. I dey fear, Chief.
You are supposed to fear, especially now that the people of EFCC are chasing people who are doing to submit other people's money. EFCC, as soon as they capture them, straight to prison.
Chief,
jail. How you are? Life are not just about acquire wealth, making money. When other people are didn't die of hunger and neglect. Be careful. EFCC are watch.
EFCC will get you anywhere, anytime.
Please keep sending your opinions, comments and suggestions to us. We thank you for your support. And before we call it a day, the Public Interface Unit of the Public Affairs Department of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, is driving a national discourse online every week. We are focusing on issues of good governance as it affects the anti-corruption crusade in Nigeria. Please join us on Google Plus by searching for Official EFCC or Official EFCC ng@gmail.com. When signed in your Google Plus account, like us or follow us. You can also join us on facebook.com/official EFCC or follow us on Twitter @official EFCC. You can also watch our programs and other activities on youtube.com/official EFCC. That's it on the program. Many thanks for watching. God bless Nigeria and goodbye.